Throughout my time over the past 5 years covering Nintendo Switch games, I've played a fair few shoot-'em-ups, and I was never any good at them to start with, but have actually improved quite a lot. I've also covered plenty of less savoury titles on the channel, and you know the kind I'm talking about. I'm not going to say the dreaded H word because the YouTube censorship bunnies are a fickle lot and demonetise you for even mentioning it. But if you couldn't tell, Glitch Blaster Waifu is one of those kind of games, and before we start, I'm not going to be showing any of the naughty bits here, just the main gameplay. The question is though, is there actually any depth to this shmup, or is it more shoot 'em small than it is shoot 'em up? Well, let's find out, shall we? So Glitch Blaster's Waifu is a 90s style shoot 'em up arcade game with a focus on high scores, and the game tells us so in the options menu, as well as explaining the storyline a little to us, and that there are 5 levels in the game which progressively increase in difficulty and will truly challenge us. But we also get an overview of the kind of perils we can expect, and it's explained that every 10,000 points difficulty increases, but we also unlock some photos. Getting into the game, we get a short little intro whose images I'm almost certain are AI generated, but we're told that 20 girls have been captured by a malicious AI and imprisoned in a virtual world, though the mysterious girl has apparently created a pirate program reminiscent of the old 90s arcade shmups, which will enable her to rescue her friends. Now gameplay begins with a tutorial stage, and there's no real introduction here, we're just thrown straight into the action with numerous ships flying at us in a variety of shapes and sizes, and take note of the character outlines at either side of the screen, as these are the girls that we need to rescue. In this first level though, none of the ships actually shoot at us, they just appear at the top of the screen or flying from the sides, and we just have to shoot them down to gain points. We're armed with a basic projectile with which to do so, and it's worth noting that every single enemy in the game only takes a single hit to kill. But as you can see, hitting the score threshold seen below the images reveals pixel art images of the kidnapped girls, and as you may have guessed, hitting the next threshold removes some of the clothing. The pixel art itself isn't all that bad, but as per usual, there's frankly no need for the nudity in this one, or at least there wouldn't have been if the core gameplay had actually been any good. You see, moving up through the levels does indeed increase the difficulty, but not quite in the way you'd expect. You won't be fighting any challenging bosses or encountering any real variety whatsoever when it comes to the basic enemies. Instead, each level introduces a single new enemy. The first being these red ships which fire a single projectile towards you, the second a black ship which fires a single projectile across the screen, the third this spinning purple enemy, and the fourth these silver and green enemies which also fire down at you and travel across the top of the screen. The difficulty of the game though comes not from the introduction of these new enemies but from the addition of them, because in each level you'll face all of the previous enemies plus the new ones, and the movement patterns and timings of them don't actually change from level to level, they all just stack on top of one another, and the challenge comes from avoiding them all and shooting them down for about 4 minutes straight to complete the level. To aid you in your mission though, the aforementioned power-ups include a shield which will prevent any damage for about 10 seconds, though I did actually take a hit at one point even whilst using it. There are also health pickups which restore some of your green energy bar, and 2 weapon pickups, one being these double green lasers and the other being a wide blue beam shot. But your best bet for surviving the entire onslaught is to just sit up here in the top right corner, where you can instantly take down the travelling shooters and pretty much be safe from most of the other enemies. The entire game though took me about 20 minutes to complete, and on the whole, the gameplay in this one is shallow, but not quite as shallow as some of the other games of this ilk, and it also has a survival mode once you beat the entire game which unlocks some more pixel art images for you to ogle at. But I'd say unless you're absolutely desperate to see a pair of pixel art chebs, then there's really nothing here worth buying the game for, and your money is much better spent on a game like Project Starship X, Wings of Blue Star, or any of the other awesome shmups the Switch has to offer. That though just about does it for this review of Glitch Blaster's Waifu. So let me know what you thought of this one, and be sure to like and subscribe for more Nintendo Switch content. But for now, thanks to the patrons of the channel for their ongoing support, and to you the viewers for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves, and game on.